All right, taking a live look here, El Paso, Texas. We have been covering this border story because there are so many different elements to this. Aside from the numbers of border crossings, it is fentanyl and that crisis getting even worse amongst this, and we'll show you how. You're looking at data from the CDC here, recording more than 70,000 Americans dying of fentanyl poisoning. 70% of those deaths are among young people. And you can look from 2021 to 2020, from right to left. It's increasing in a major way. But advocates say district attorneys like Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon are refusing to do anything about it, including prosecuting drug dealers who sell directly to children. Gascon responded during a recent interview on Fox 11. Local watch.
And we have to understand that this is a public health crisis. We play a role on the prosecution side, on the enforcement side, but we cannot overlook the fact that this is a public health crisis. First of all, right, we would never put people that have cancer in jail to cure their cancer.
John Hatami is the Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney, works with Gascon. Thanks so much for coming on, John, to talk about this. It is an important story. I mean, the facts are what they are when you show it from the CDC. But the response from Gascon, talk to us about this. What would you like to see different? Do you see a motivation for him to go after those who are selling to younger folks, to children?
4 people die every day in Los Angeles as a result of fentanyl poisoning. George Gascon wrote an op-ed recently where he said he wouldn't even prosecute low-level drug dealers. So many of these drug dealers are selling fentanyl through the internet, through social media, and they sell pills, and they're secretly laced with fentanyl. And so children are buying these pills, and they don't know that fentanyl is in them, and they're dying. George Gascon just said he won't even prosecute those low-level drug dealers. As far as high-level drug dealers, you sell fentanyl to a child or a teenager and that child dies or is killed, George Gascon refuses to prosecute that drug dealer with second-degree murder. So we have many counties outside of LA that have chosen to prosecute these drug dealers with second-degree murder, but George Gascon refuses to do that. And so it shows you that he really is not serious about what his main job is, which is prosecuting crime. In addition, you got to look at his history. He supported open-air drug markets in San Francisco, and here in Los Angeles, he supported safe injection sites. The problem is there's nothing safe about injecting yourself with fentanyl. Most individuals who use fentanyl, at a certain period of time, they die. So it's just not safe. And George Gascon is not considering prosecution a priority, and that's his main job as the district attorney.
It seemed as if this situation in terms of drug dealing, selling drugs, using drugs has really increased in terms of fentanyl becoming more prominent as it's being laced with perhaps marijuana or cocaine, things that we have pointed out many times on this show. So it's not necessarily meaning that these young folks are going after fentanyl itself, but it's being laced. If there is no higher consequence for these drug dealers, why would they stop selling these types of products? Do you want to see change with that?
I do. There needs to be a deterrent. The problem is many of these drug dealers are tricking children. They're basically selling Percocet, they're selling marijuana, they're selling other types of drugs, and they're lacing them with fentanyl. And these teenagers and kids are getting killed as a result of that. And so we need to set a deterrent. We need to tell individuals, if you sell Percocet laced with fentanyl, if you sell drugs laced with fentanyl, if you sell them on the internet, on social media, out there in the public, and you kill a child, we're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. That means we're going to prosecute you with second-degree murder. That means you face a 15 to life sentence. And that is a deterrent. In addition to that, once you take drug dealers and put them in custody or in prison, they can't hurt anybody else. It's common sense. And so we have a lot of progressive prosecutors, and George Gascon is one of them, that tries to trick individuals, but they don't use common sense. If you take a drug dealer off the streets, that makes everybody safer, including our children and our families.
Narcan, obviously, we were looking at some of the video there of an officer who had overdosed as well due to fentanyl poisoning there was saved with Narcan. Wanted that video to be released to show the dangers, just simply interacting with it, just how powerful fentanyl could be. But also how life-saving Narcan can be as well. We appreciate you speaking out about it. John Hatami joining us live, Deputy District Attorney there in Los Angeles. John, Merry Christmas to you. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas to you and your viewers. Thank you so much.